Something is happening right now that we warned everybody was going to take place, and that is Donald Trump and his minions were going to do all they could to steal the election. For the last 6 years, all Donald Trump has done is complain about the 2020 election, saying that it was stolen. Now, keep in mind, other Republicans ran and won. Democrats ran and won, but somehow he was the only person who was impacted by the election. All he has done is yell, rig, rig, rig. Now what we have are some 17 individuals who are now coming forward to claim that China interfered in the 2020 election. So as a result, Donald Trump should receive emergency powers to increase executive oversight of the 2026 midterm elections. They literally are saying that Trump could use the National Emergencies Act to intervene in state-led voting procedures. They argue these drastic measures are necessary to ensure what they call election integrity. Constitutional experts warn that such an action would face immediate and serious challenges in the federal court system. But these folks, they do not care. They are scared to death. Donald Trump said to Republicans last month that you guys got to hold onto the House. If you don't, they're going to impeach me for a third time. He is scared to death of being impeached. Well, if you didn't do anything wrong, why are you scared to get impeached? Because you know you've done some corrupt things since you've been in power. And so that's what we have going on here. My panel, Dr. Greg Carr, Department of Afro-American Studies, Howard University out of Washington, D.C. Reese Colbert, host of the Reese Colbert Show on Sirius XM Radio out of Washington, D.C. as well. Glad to have both of you here. Greg, listen, you went to law school, you understand the law, and these folks are down and dirty, they're nasty, they're despicable, and what they are trying to do, this action right here, is all about how can they steal the midterms. He's scared to lose the House and lose the Senate because then he can't pass anything if Democrats control one or both of those chambers. If Democrats control the Senate, they then determine his nominees getting approved. They determine if there's even going to be hearings for federal judges and Supreme Court judges. And so to have 17 of his supporters now floating the possibility of taking over the election, it shows you how desperate and corrupt these people are.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You know, I like what Ilhan Omar is referring to him as President Majnoon, an Arabic word meaning evil, mad, or fanatic. But as you say, I'm looking at the Democracy Now! Report that just dropped a few minutes ago, and he's got all these election deniers in place. This guy, Peter Ticknen, who was the attorney for Tina Peters, we remember, of course, in Colorado, who was trying to throw out the vote, and she's serving a 9-year sentence. He's the one saying, you know, they're going to try to evoke, as you said, the National Emergencies Act and the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. You know, Russell Vought is somewhere around in this, and of course, Steve Bannon filtering around, but they're going to fail. And I'll tell you why they're going to fail, because even though you've got the complete people in the bag for him, like Clarence Thomas, Sam Alito, clearly John Roberts, who we heard in passing Trump refer to during the State of the Union, when he talked about voter ID, said, we got to do something, John, we can't let it happen. Who are you talking to? You're talking to John Roberts. But the lower courts are clearly pushing back. I think now this is where the acid test is going to reveal that there are people, regardless of their political affiliation, that are not going to allow this madman, this Majnoon, to run over all the laws in the United States. I'm optimistic that this is just not going to come to pass.
Well, but here's the thing for me, Reese, and when we were sitting here trying to warn people about this thug being back in power, we kept trying to tell people this is the stuff that they would try to do, what the kind of action they would try to take. And there were a lot of black people and others saying, well, listen, I don't think they're going to go that far. And I'm like, guys, y'all don't understand. These folks do not care about the law. They do not care about the Constitution. They care about power. And so in this Washington Post story, you have these individuals. It's a 17-page executive order where they want to nationalize the elections. And Peter Ticknen, who Greg was talking about, he said, quote, we have a situation where the president is aware that there are foreign interests that are interfering in our election processes and that the president has to be able to deal with it, including by banning mail-in ballots and inserting voting machines. Really? Are y'all serious? And so here's the problem here, Reese. I recall the 2016 election when intelligence services went to President Obama and Mitch McConnell and congressional leaders and said foreign actors are trying to interfere with the election. McConnell objected to Obama publicly coming out until after the election, and Obama did. Obama should have told Mitch McConnell to go to hell. Then, of course, we saw, and Trump, they say, oh, no, y'all kept saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Oh, it didn't exist. It didn't exist. They kept trying to deflect to China and North Korea and Iran and others. And so then you had a Senate report that actually detailed foreign interference. Senator Marco Rubio was one of the people who was on the panel where they wrote the report. He becomes Secretary of State and act like the report never even existed. These people are liars. They do not care about the Constitution. And I'm telling you, they are going to try to make this thing happen. This is not a bluff. They will try to make it happen, because if they can get away with stealing the election, they absolutely will try.
Well, yeah, Donald Trump ran and he said, just vote for me and you'll never have to vote for me again. That's what he said. Oh, no, I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Maybe Roland can't hear me. But,
okay, guys, Reese,
okay.
hold on one second. Reese, hold on one second. Guys, Reese, hold on. Reese is talking, guys. I can't hear her. So I need y'all to fix that. I can't hear Reese. So, Reese, go ahead and talk. Control room, y'all fix the audio so I can hear. Reese, go ahead. Now I can hear you. Go.
Well, so Donald Trump, when he ran in 2024, he told an audience, just vote for me once and you'll never have to vote again. And so he's already stated what the intentions are, is to lie, cheat, and steal. Every single accusation from this administration is a confession. And so should we be able to successfully make it through the midterms without them lying, cheating, and stealing to the point to where they hold the majority, the first order of business of Democrats needs to be to investigate the 2024 elections. Because if you're saying that it's possible that it happened in the 2020 elections, then goddamn it, I guess it's possible that it happened in 2024 as well. Because what the hell would stop them if they didn't want Donald Trump's ass in there? Why is he sitting in there right now? Or maybe other people like Vladimir Putin or other actors did want Donald Trump in here, and that's why he's sitting in office. And so we can't just disregard what they're saying, because usually they're doing the exact same things they're accusing the other side of doing. And so this is really important. And it is a pretext that they're using to try to steal these elections. And I'll also add, I remember when Andrew Gillum ran in 2020, no, I guess it was 2018. And there was, I'm pretty sure it was a black woman in Miami-Dade who talked about election interference in that race. And so that was never investigated, because unfortunately Democrats are too busy half the time. And I know that he wasn't president, Democrats weren't president then, but Democrats have taken the posture that what Donald Trump is saying isn't even possible, because they want to try to engender faith in the election system. Clearly there are some vulnerabilities here, but I have every single bit of assurance that any vulnerabilities are being exploited by Republicans for the benefit of Republicans. So what we need to know is that we have to get far beyond cheating distance. Whatever they do, we have to come back 10 times harder so that it is impossible to deny the will of the American people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what has to happen, Greg, I think about the movie Remember the Titans, when it said, Herman, leave no doubt. I mean, we have to, who did we have on the show the other day? I think it was Congressman Jonathan Jackson talking about his dad. He said, we have to overwhelm the voting polls. I mean, we have to make it so hard for these folks to cheat. They'd be like, damn, we're going to have to flip 100, 200, 300,000 votes. We got to put pressure on these folks. And this is no moment for people to sit out. I mean, we say this all the time. I've been seeing these videos of some of these Simple Simons talking about, I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for Trump because I didn't hear an agenda on police brutality. That's a lie. Didn't hear an agenda on economics. That's a lie. And I'm telling you, what these people want to do, they want to steal it. This Cali decision, we're going to talk coming up next what's happening in Mississippi. They absolutely want to invalidate state races, state Senate, state representative races, congressional races. People need to understand if there's a national emergency, it is a national black emergency. Black people need to understand that there is an all-out assault to completely roll us back to pre-1964 Civil Rights Act, 65 Voting Rights Act, 68 Fair Housing Act days. And if these Republicans had their way, they would undo, and we already know they're trying to challenge the 14th Amendment, they will undo the 3 Reconstruction Amendments that were passed by the radical Republicans.
You're absolutely right, Roland. Of course, there are unintended consequences. There always are unintended consequences. In this case, the Constitution is crystal clear. The President of the United States has no authority to interfere in federal elections at the state level. We know, of course, that this draft executive order, which has been kicked around since maybe July, according to this early reporting, we know that it does not have the force of law. It can be ignored. The Colorado Attorney General has already said we will fight them, but it's really almost not necessary to fight them in court because the courts have shown very clearly that they have rejected similar attempts. There's no statutory authority. There's just no way for them to do it. If, however, to your point, they do not only attempt this, but figure out how to bring it off, then of course the other prong becomes the prong that we should already, and Reese, you've already said it, we should already be practicing, which is to literally overwhelm them. As for the chattering class, the talking heads, the YouTubians, and others who are talking silly, maybe they're on the payroll, maybe they're not, the bottom line is this: we will overwhelm you as well. And in overwhelming you, we will use you as the barometer through which we show other black people and everyone else that this is what weaponized ignorance looks like. We're not going to debate you. We're not going to show you the other side. We're simply going to say you are a tool of white supremacy. And people are going to lose friendships. Well, guess what? Your political backs need to be broken. The unintended consequence, however, is let's just say that they succeed on all fronts. And this looks more like Turkey, or this looks more like Iran or somewhere where there are elections, but one candidate wins 90% of the vote and white supremacy reigns. Well, you know what comes next? Look at American history. There will be a fight. The only question becomes, you want to do it in the ballot box or do you want to do it in the street? But either way, this white supremacy is on its last legs and it's behaving that way. They're desperate and it's showing.
Yeah, they're absolutely
desperate. But can I just say, should it?
Because, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, to your point, Dr. Carr, Democratic governors and AG should be coming out and saying, this is not worth the toilet paper I wipe my ass on, and we will not, under any circumstances, comply with it.
That's right.
Fuck suing. Fuck going to court. You ain't got to go to court. It's illegal. Mm-hmm. And so at a certain point, we have to get to the point where the Democrats that are in charge just absolutely refuse to comply with illegal orders. That's right. The same way that businesses don't comply when Donald Trump says you can't buy houses or you can't, or what did he said he was going to do an executive order over interest rates. The same way that everybody else ignores Donald Trump's dumb ass when he puts these toothless executive orders out. I would like to start seeing some Democrats do the same as well. It don't always have to come to a lawsuit. Why don't we try that? Why don't we try forcing the administration to sue you into complying with something that's illegal as opposed to complying with it and then suing them so that you don't have to comply?
That's right.
Yeah, I think right now, I dare say, to your point, Democratic governors, Democratic attorney generals, Democratic election officials, county commissioners, there should be an all-out assault of hell no. That's right. Hell no, we will fight you to the end if you're trying to pull this here. They have to raise the bar, turn this thing into a major thing because, see, again, what Trump likes to do is he wants to throw 3 or 4 or 5 different things. Oh, we're going to attack Iran. They're going to slip this in and this and this. And national media, national white media is so stupid. They don't know how to do more than 2 or 3 damn stories at one time. And so they get stuck on it. And see, also national white media sees this as a game. Oh, they really not going to do that. They really not going to go. No, hell no. Every single time they've done that by saying, no, they really not going to do anything like that, they do it. Every single time. And this right here, they called it Steve Bannon, after they lost in 2020, Steve Bannon, Greg said, we're going to put our people in the local state boards, county boards of election and the state boards of elections, and we're going to take over the system. That's what folks don't understand. And so they are going to try this. They are going to try this. And what I'm saying to our people, I mean, I saw this, Terrence Woodbury came out with this a survey talking about how young black men really don't see what's happening with Trump as somehow impacting their life. I'm telling you right now, young black men, y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong. And look, by saying, well, I'm not really feeling it, let me be real clear. It's a lot of stuff that you say you ain't feeling that's actually hitting you because, see, you have been anesthetized by what's going on. Oh, it's going to hit you. I'm telling everybody watching right now, when this right-wing, ideologically driven Supreme Court rules for the state of rules in the Cali case, when they allow those racists in Louisiana who lost before by creating the second district, when they rule that race cannot be considered in the creation of districts, oh, trust me, you're about to see the loss of black political power. You're going to see it happen. And you know what you're going to end up seeing? You're going to see the budgetary impacts of those black folks not being in power. You're going to see the impact in education. Oh, you're going to see it. And so I need this generation, Greg, to wake their asses up out of this stupor and to understand. Like I was just sitting here. The Houston Chronicle had some video, and the video said 4 black women from Houston discussed the 2026 election fatigue and the frustration of being the backbone of a Democratic Party that seldom rewards their loyalty. Listen, I feel folk on all that. This ain't no time for no damn fatigue.
No.
And oh, I'm tired. Because way too many ancestors were also tired. But we need to really understand, we are sounding this alarm for a reason. What these white supremacists want to lock in is absolutely Jim Crow 2.0.
That's absolutely right. And let's just be very clear. There's a difference between power and the law, as you've said. And we have to be very clear about this. White commercial news entertainment media should be at this point completely ignored with only one exception, and that is reporting on factual events. Everything else, interpretation, ignore it. Again, this station here, young people, if you got young people in your family, sit them down in front of this station and let's do that, because we know that when we engage with our young people, they will respond. But we have to engage with them, and we got to do that. Just ignore all the rest of that stuff.